My wife is a child of God. I am a child of God. So we're married, but we're also spiritual brothers and sisters, correct? Now let me ask you a question. I'm blessed to have my in-laws in town, and it's been a good experience. Not everybody can say that. But it's been a pretty good experience. Let me ask you a question. Do you really think that I could go over to my in-laws and expect to have a good time with my in-laws if I'm abusing their daughter? If I'm neglecting her, if I'm not loving her, if I'm ignoring her, if I'm not taking care of her needs, not just physically, but emotionally, to the best of my ability, do you think that I'll be okay with my in-laws if I treat their daughter poorly? Do you really think you're okay with God, our Heavenly Father, when you treat one of His children poorly? God makes that very clear. He says, listen, husbands, if you don't deal with your wife in an understanding way, your prayers are hindered. He's like, I don't want to hear that. I'm not going to talk to you. You treat her like that, and you think you can just talk to me and we're all going to be good? Is this a pretty important concept here? He's saying right off the bat, your children, understand who you are, understand who they are, if they're followers of Jesus. And if they're not followers of Jesus, what is Jesus' heart towards people who are not followers of Jesus? He wants to save them. And so he starts out by saying this: listen, you're going to become more and more an imitator of God as you're a disciple and you're growing. And he says, you're dearly loved children. And then he goes on and says, and walk in love. There's what it means to be mature. Walk in love. Remember, all the law and the prophets are summed up in loving God and loving others. So real maturity is the ability to love them and to love God. And then he says, here's what love is. As Christ loved us and gave himself up for us. So what does love look like? It's self-sacrificing love. Love is to give what a person needs rather than what they deserve. Aren't you glad? And notice it says here, did Jesus sacrifice himself for us and give us what we needed rather than what we deserved? That's what it means to give grace. See, love is to look past those faults and to give what is needed because you love them anyway. That's what maturity is about. Self-sacrificing love.